Good evening and welcome to our live crafting session. Let's just add a little bit more light. Thank you for joining me. My name's Jenny McCormack and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the market town of Brackley in Northamptonshire in the UK. And this week I have been featuring retiring products from our annual catalogue and also from our January to April catalogue. Both of those finish at the end of April, actually the 1st of May, because the new catalogue goes live on the 2nd of May. And so I've been featuring retiring products this week. I have checked that they are still currently in stock. I had a little mild panic because what I had planned had gone out, and so I had to do a last minute shuffle round, but I think we're good to go. And I'm going to try and incorporate as many products as I can this evening. We'll see. So some of the products I've covered already this week are the framed florets stamp set, this one here, and the coordinating dies that cut out lots of different oval shapes. So there's that one. We did the hydrangea. This is one that featured at Coffee and Card Friday, Monday and Tuesday. And this is it's called Hydrangea Haven, and then there are the hydrangea dies that go with this. Yesterday we did the cup of tea stamp set, and I put the samples down and I can't find them, so they're online but I can't see them to hand. Today I've got a couple of sets that I've put together. We have Butterfly Brilliance, which you can see here, and I've written down the prices. So the stamp sets are now, the stamp set is now £11.90, and this stamp comes as a single stamp that coordinates with a single die. So what's really clever about this, if I put that on there, is that you can stamp all of the butterflies or just some of the butterflies, and then if you have a die cutting machine you can pop the die on and this will cut out each of those 6 butterflies individually. In addition to that, the die set also cuts out these different butterflies, so they are die cuts in their own right in detail. There's also some embossing, there's some bricks and a sort of cross hatch, some dots as well, and then some other little butterflies. So you can buy the stamps and you can buy the dies. The dies are currently £24.60. They were £41, and it's a really good set. You could use just the dies on their own. So if you didn't have the stamps, don't worry about this one. You could use this for background shapes, for example. So you could cut out a plain colour and then use this one, the detailed one, to cut out a detailed butterfly if you wanted to. So entirely up to you. So we're going to be using that. Now I actually purchased 2 sets of the butterflies, and that's because, and here's some of the cut out butterflies that you can see. I just cut out in white card, so really detailed, but they're cut out really nicely. And what I did was I separated these, so I took this stamp and I just cut through it so that I could just literally stamp one butterfly at a time and cut that out if I wanted to. So yes, so I bought 2 sets, And then with some of the off-cut pieces here, you can see I've kept them to do some background stamping that we did a little while ago. So we're going to be using that. And then the other set we're going to use is one of my favourite floral sets that's retiring. It's called True Beauty. Had lovely papers that went with this. And I used this as a class in a box last year, maybe even the year before, and the same with this one. And the True Beauty dies, as well as cutting out the elements of the stamps, and I'm sorry about the reflection there. Also cut out this lovely lattice design. I've obviously saved a few at the same time, as well as doing the flowers themselves and the elements from the stamp set. Let's open that up so you can see here. It also has got some extra little ones as well, but it's mainly there to cut out the flower design. So I thought I would use both of these. Hi Brenda, I hope you are well. Lovely to see you earlier this week. So the True Beauty stamp set is now £18.40. Really easy to use because it has a watercolour look, so you can just literally stamp with it and away you go. And the dies that go with this, which incorporate this lovely lattice, are now £20 instead of £40, so they're half price. So that is butterflies and flowers. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with all of these, but let's just start with some a floral background, and then I'm either going to pop the butterfly onto here, or what I might do is do a background on here and then pop some butterflies onto the grid, onto the lattice. So let's grab this. So we've got a lovely rose. That's one of my favourites. I think I'm going to have to use that, as this is probably the last time I will have this set out. And again, I have cut my leaves in half, so I've got separate leaves. And I never tidy up the cuttings because then I can put it back together again, because obviously together matches the dies. So let's just grab a few blocks. I think that one will work nicely there. And let's just, I haven't put these away from yesterday. Just had a busy yesterday and a busy evening, so I probably only need one leaf in the meantime. Okay, so let's see what I've got here. So I've got Pear Pizzazz, so that's a retiring colour, and let's pick out another colour that's retiring. So maybe I was thinking Mango Melody, but maybe Rich Razzleberry might be better for a flower. So let's grab that. So these are two retiring colours as well. And I think what I'm going to do is just do some flowers around the left hand side. I might put this in the background, we'll see. Okay, so this is Rich Razzleberry, like so. So I'm just inking this up. I don't know how much ink is left in here. Oh, a reasonable amount. That's always good. Okay, so I'm going to pop a flower here. Just so pretty, this. And then I'm just turning this around. So I'm not going to do any masking. Like so. And that's Rich Razzleberry. And then I've got Pear Pizzazz, which is the same colour as that card as well. I haven't got as far as thinking what base layers I'm going to use or anything. And just pop this in here. And by cutting the leaves down, you can just dot them in. If it's a single leaf, it's a lot easier just to pop it in, like so. I'll bring that up. So pretty. Hi Michelle. I hope you're well this evening. So I might pop another one up here on the top. It's just such a pretty set. I should really miss this one, although to be fair, yes, I just stamped that in. Rich Razzleberry and Pear Pizzazz together. Oopsie daisy. I have had my use out of this, to be absolutely fair. Right, we'll start that again. Right, let me just clean that off and find a cloth. I'm slightly surrounded by chaos. It's just as well you can't see my craft room. Let's put it that way. Right, let's clean this off and stamp just Rich Razzleberry, not a dirty brown colour. Okay, so try that again. So I've got one. Okay, here we go. Right, third time. This looks better. Alright, so I've got one here to the right, just down there. Doesn't look as good, does it? Okay, it's because I've just inked it up on the bit that was inky. Okay, let's pop those in there. So I've got some flowers and some leaves going on here. Let's put another one in there. And then I'm going to do the same up here, but I'm not going to mix the colours this time. So this is Rich Razzleberry. Hopefully it is. And then this is Pear Pizzazz. So these are retiring colours. So now I do like this green, but I have to say that Granny Apple Green is a good substitute, really. Right, I'm just going to put another one down here. And up here. Okay, right, that's going to stay there for the minute. And I've got this base card, and I want to use this trellis. And what I'm going to do is, first of all, put that away for the minute. And I just want to stamp some leaves in the background so that I can put the trellis on top, and you see the leaves through here. Now this is slightly different measurement to the card, so I'm just being mindful of that. And I'm just going to put some pairs of leaves together. Just so that I haven't got a plain background, like so. So I'm just doing them randomly, oops, like so. Love this leaf shape, and it's pouring with rain. I was looking out the window thinking it was getting darker and darker, and now it's pouring. Okay. I'm not going right to the corners because I know there's an edge of this trellis. So I just want to get a little bit of background in there, like so. If I lift that up. Third time lucky indeed. So I hope you can see that. It's just got the leaves behind. And I could stamp, and I might actually stamp and cut some of these out as well to go on top. So let's do that on our piece of paper that went wrong. So this is much nicer, but hey ho, it is what it is. And I'm going to put the two back together, like so. Just so that I can cut a few of these out with the dies. Okay. Right, I've got some of those. I've got that. This is going to go on the top. So this is going to be one card. This is going to be another card, I've decided. And this has got some nice sentiments. It says, just because, you're a true friend, here for you always, and with love. And I'm going to look for a slightly bigger sentiment that will go in there to fit that a little bit better. Okay. Right, just going to take that one off. Leave the little one on here, and I just want another little leaf there. And this one might end up that way round. Okay, now what I'm going to do is hopefully grab another spare piece of card, and I'm going to stamp some of the butterflies to cut out. So let's find those buried under here. So this is the one that I cut up so that you've got the individual butterflies, and I'm going to keep the colours the same. Let me see what Michelle says. She's cut out, yes. That's sort of what I'm going to do. I might be able to utilise that. I'll have a look, see. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this butterfly. How pretty is that? And you could use a Wink of Stella pen to not only do a little bit of colouring, but also to add some sparkle. So because this is a water-based ink, some of the ink will run, which is what I want it to do. If you can see that here on the right hand side. And you probably can't see the sparkling quite the same way. There we go. and so it's just picking up that ink like so. Okay, so there's one. And I'm also going to grab a couple of smaller ones as well. So I've got that one. Let's do 2 of those. So I was thinking I want 3 for my for this one here, and a flower, maybe 1, 2 or 3. So I don't want to go too big. So as I say, I've cut mine up. You don't have to do that, obviously. There we go. I'm going to leave those out to remind me to clean them afterwards, and I can give this the same coating. So this is our Wink of Stella glitter pen, like so. Not sure whether you can see the sparkle. It gets more sparkly as it dries. Okay, so everything I'm using is retiring except Wink of Stella. Wink of Stella isn't retiring. That's the brand name, in case you're wondering why it's got such an odd name. And then let's do this one here. So I should be sad to see these butterflies have served us well. Okay, so now this is going to be one card that I'm going to pop a sentiment on, and then this one I'm going to cut out the leaves and maybe that the flowers as well. So let's cover this up so I don't put anything in the ink pad. So both Pear, Pizzazz and Rich Razzleberry are retiring colours. Okay, let's find my die cutting machine, which is sort of buried underneath everything else. And the dies. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just cut these up slightly to make it easier. Obviously I could have stamped the whole thing and then cut them out together, but I wanted some that were similar. So I'm just going to pop these through the die cutting machine. So apologies, I haven't really got enough space to put it on the screen. Sorry if I use the small one is okay. I could also just use the decorative dies. But I want my colour coordination, so okay. There's one. Sorry everybody. you've had a good day though. It was beautiful here this afternoon, and now look at it. Okay, so I've got one butterfly, lots of little bits, and then let's grab this one. So. Sorry, it's very boring for you. There they are. Okay. So I'm going to cut out the leaves as well. But I've got this that's going to go on there. And then I want these basically on the, as if they're landing on the fence. And then maybe I'll put one of these butterflies on there. So let's grab the leaves from True Beauty. And this has got some dies as well. And I'm going to cut the flower out as suggested by Michelle. So there's the two leaves, and then this is the rose, rose flower. So this is my one that went a little bit astray, so I can cut those out at the same time. Get it the right way round. Okay, so we've got flower. We've got some leaves. Let's cut some more leaves out. And I might as well cut that part of the flower as well. Okay, more leaves, part of a flower, that was the one that was on the edge, and I might just cut those last leaves out. I can find the die that I just had, there it is, attached to the plate, so I'm just going to pop that one on there. So this cuts the two out together, but also if you've only stamped one, you can just chop that bit off, or you can chop them into two. If you wish. Okay. Right. There we go. Sorry. Right, let's see what we have. I have to do a massive clearing up session afterwards. Okay, so this is going to go onto here. And I could add this in the bottom. And maybe even just one butterfly. What do you think? Or even so I'm going to put a sentiment onto here. Let's have a look at this one. Oh, I didn't cut out 2 butterflies, let's just use this one for the minute. That's a different one, isn't it? Yes. We find that small butterfly. Use this one here. Just cut that one out. Okay. Right, I am still here, I promise. So if you've joined me and you're wondering where on earth I am here, I'm just die cutting. So welcome. Right, there we go. That will do. So I'm just trying to use as many retiring things as I can. Wish me luck putting all of those away, won't you? And this did move a little bit, so I'm just going to cut around the edge. I wasn't really looking what I was doing, was I? So, oops. Right. Okay, so let's do this one first. So the question is, do I need anything extra, or shall I just have the butterflies on there and a sentiment? Do you think? So if you buy the dies for these, you get the complete set that cuts out the whole set of stamps, and you get the individual ones as well that do the details. Okay. Right, let's pop the grid down. And I'm just going to use a little bit of glue on those edges. Michelle says if you're just putting a sentiment on, then just the butterflies. I'd agree. Let's get working glue, shall we? Let's take one from the working pot. There we go. So I'm just going to pop a few dots where the larger spaces are. And you just want the lightest of touches, because you don't want to be covered in glue, and you don't want your card to be covered in glue either. So this is a really useful trellis, and what we did for our class was we also cut elements of that trellis, so I'll show you that in a second. So I'm just going to put this on here. It's a bit of a tight fit, but it will fit. So what you can do with the trellis is, I know this is probably not the right colour, but you can just cut out a little element, for example. I'm just going to cut through here. I've got it, got one. So you could, obviously not this size for this card, but you could just have a small element of the trellis on there, or you could use that as a stencil and a blending brush to get the trellis effect behind. Right, just make sure that is all secure, which it seems to be. And I'm going to put my butterflies down there, and then I'm just going to pop a sentiment on the bottom. So let's put these down first, and I've just bent the wings up very slightly. Let's have this one here, and I'm just putting it on a piece of the trellis so that it's got a chance to stick down, and then bend those up. I'm going to add this one here, like so. I'm not going to put 3 on, but normally you would do things in 3s, but with the sentiment that will make my set of 3. So let's grab something for the sentiment, my little pot. What would one flower look like on the corners? On the corners of this one here, I think it's a bit too big, isn't it, really? You could do that, for example. What do you think? I've got this sentiment. That would work quite nicely, wouldn't it? Like so. Let's get one that's got holes punched in it. Right, let's pop a sentiment onto there. So I want to find a retiring sentiment. So that is a complete retiring card. It wants to be long and thin. Let's see. One that fits in there. I'm wondering if that thank you will fit. Might just. Let's stamp it on the reverse and see. Right, rich raspberry. Crunch. So if anybody's joined us since the beginning, good evening and welcome to you. Do say hi if you're online and live. And if you're watching us later, then do say hi as well. Okay, yep, that works. And I might just stamp a little bit of the leaf coming in on the side of that, just to tie it all in together. So let's grab that, the green, just use a little bit of paper. Go, and one here, like so. Okay, I'm going to pop this one up on dimensionals. So, and if I had some rich raspberry ribbon I could add that, but I'm just going to leave that as it is. Like so. Grab a bone folder. So there's card number 1. Let me see what Brenda said. Oh, I see. Sorry, that was Brenda's comment, not Michelle's. Beg your pardon. Right, so that's 1. Hope you can see that okay. And then we've got this one here. And this feels like this is going the right way round. And so what I could do is have another flower in, or I could just pop a flower on top as if it was decoupaged. I'm going to use the same stamp set but a different sentiment. A little note with the biggest thanks. Like that. Is that much bigger? A little bit bigger. Very pretty, says Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. Right. Going to use rich raspberry again. Popping this in roughly in the middle, hopefully. Little note with the biggest thanks. And then I'm just going to decide what I'm going to do. Whether I'm going to add, I think I will add a little butterfly in there. And then I might just 3D that one. I've got another one here. That was my off-cut one. Just going to pop that one up 3D, I think. There it is. So, just so as not to waste it, really. That's the same direction, like so. That definitely needs to go up there. No, leave those alone, Jenny. But what I might do is just add in some of these. So I'm going to put this one on. so. And then I'm going to cut these leaves down, so I've got smaller segment of leaf. And have those coming out. So I'm going to tuck that one underneath there, like that. And tuck another one underneath there. Just going to cut that little bit off there. Like so. So this is going to be layered up. Probably pop it onto rich raspberry and then white. And then I've got a little gap here. And there's a useful little trick. If I can find my marker pens that I had literally a second ago. Well, not really a second ago. There they are. So I'm looking for rich raspberry. There it is. Oh no, it's very, very light, isn't it? Let's see. There we go. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is just 3 little dots like that. So I'm just using the brush tip. And what I might do, if I've got, might just stamp another leaf in the bottom, or just put another leaf in. Like that. If you can see that or not. So if you ever have a little gap, that's quite a good way to fill it in. So the old, these current style of Stampin' Right markers are retiring, and we've got new markers that have got a new nib at this end. The brush tip is the same, or very similar. Okay, and I feel like I want to put something down here even now, so I am going to put a little bit of green leaf. And then just mount this up together. There we go. There we are. Okay, that worked out okay. So this is Rich Razzleberry and Pear Pizzazz. I have some rich raspberry card and Pear Pizzazz card. A little, not much, even less. I've dropped it on the floor. So let's just see which way round. That way with the green and then raspberry, or raspberry and then the green. Don't think there's much in it. Looking for a piece of white card. Just buried. Here it is. Let's look at it with the white. So I've got raspberry and then pear, or pear and then raspberry. First way, says Michelle. Which way was that? You'll have to tell me now because I've forgotten where I started. I think it was that one, wasn't it? Pear. Like that. Was it? You'll have to tell me. Yes, that one. That one like that. Okay, so I've got a white card. This looks like it might be the right size. And then just cut this one down. And you could use Wink of Stella on those flowers as well. Which way round? Oh yes. Which way I'm doing it now, this way, isn't it? Yeah. So this should be 13.85 by 9.5. Hopefully. Okay. Thank you, Brenda. She agrees. I don't think there was much in it, but I think there's more green around the edge and therefore the contrast is better onto the rich raspberry. So we can say goodbye to Pear Pizzazz, rich raspberry, Butterfly Brilliance, which is the name of the stamp set, Brilliant Wings, which is the name of the dies, and then True Beauty, which is the name of the floral stamp set, and Organic Beauty, which is the name of the dies that has that lovely trellis on it. So I'm just wondering if this would be, if the butterflies would be a good choice for our coffee and card tomorrow and next week, as I've got two sets. I think that might be a good choice. Right, so there we go, there's our finished card. I'll decorate the inside as well. But there's that one there, and that one with the trellis and the butterflies. I've also got the little butterfly embellishments that would work on there, or you could put a few pearls or a little bit of bling maybe on this one to brighten it up a little bit. But I'm pleased with both of those. I'm happy with how they've come out. So let me just show you those all finished. There's one and number two. There we go. So all of those products are retiring with the exception of the basic white card that I've stamped on and the Wink of Stella that I've used for the glitter. So thank you so much for joining me this evening. That went on a bit longer than I intended, mainly because I was faffing around and die cutting. So thank you so much for persevering with me. I don't normally like to go on that long, but I have made 2 cards, so I suppose that I could forgive myself that. So thank you so much. I'm going to definitely use then the butterflies for coffee and card Friday, Monday and Tuesday. So if you are able to join me in Brackley Toaster or Brackley again, then I look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much everyone. Do take care. Have a great morning, afternoon or evening. Now I've just got to clear up the mess that I've left behind. Thank you so much. Do take care. Bye for now. Oh, I've just spotted something. This is the new Moody Mauve ribbon. And just to give you an idea, it's redder than this cardstock. So this cardstock is rich razzleberry. And this is the new Moody Mauve. So it's a little bit redder that you can see on there. Thank you, Michelle. I will see you tomorrow. And hopefully I will see Brenta and the girls next week. Thank you so much. Bye for now.